Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of DadVGirls After Hours, episode 74. Special guests up in the building.
You know they run out of content when we're on it.
Yeah, so guys, we are drying up a little bit on the old topic, so in you come. Now, this is a post-brand trip wrap-up. You know when they do on reality
Love
TV,
Island's like
the reunion?
Yeah.
This is the Marrakesh, the reunion.
We kind of just got sucked into this though, because for Father's Day, I was saying like, oh, we'll go out for lunch at Sticks and Sushi, which is one of our favourite restaurants, and then go to, there's like this, what is it, like a games room sort of thing. So I was like, oh, I could come and pick you up after the podcast because you don't really have any other plans after that. Mum goes, oh, brilliant. Yeah, you guys can come on the podcast. So at 11 a.m.
Locked in.
I'm like,
I mean, two birds, one stone.
How did I get sucked into that?
I am looking forward to our little Father's Day trip after this. But first, before that, we got the Marrakesh, the juicy gossip, as they say.
We do.
Yeah.
The untold.
Oh, dun,
juicy.
dun,
We're going to
dun.
expose all the influence.
The arguments, the fallouts, the dramas.
We know you want to know how much they make for each post. Well, this is how you find out. Jokes.
Well, the fact that the Solskin brand trip nearly wiped out the half of the UK influencer scene on a hot air balloon
I can't even believe
is
it.
mad.
That video is on 40 million views.
Also, people in Brazil think it's us. You know, like there's the whole thing of like the air balloon gone on fire. We're on the news saying it's us.
Yeah,
It
that
is-
people
People are saying they know it's not, but people have used that,
at the same
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Sadly, another air balloon.
which made us realise how silly it was. Anyway, back it up.
Okay, where should we start?
The beginning.
Go ahead.
The beginning.
So obviously, me and Sarah been in all the meetings like pre-trip, like planning and stuff. So you guys would have seen. You guys saw pictures of the villa, right? I saw pictures of the villa. But what were you going to say, Sarah?
No, I was going to say Kaci has also been in. Kaci was the one that did all like the influencer invites.
That's it. I was actually heavily involved. Thank you very much.
I didn't see you in any of those meetings.
Just
You
in the
literally left one of the meetings and left me in there for an extra hour and a half over the time that was meant to end.
Just one. Yeah.
So no, I've been in.
No, but also, okay, Joel says this, right? But people on the brand trip, we're jumping ahead. But anyway, people on the brand trip would be like, "Oh, what's the plans tonight?" And Joel would be like, "I don't know."
I said, I don't
So
work.
like, you were in those meetings.
I don't work here. I'm an influencer.
How do you not
on this
know?
trip with you lot.
Like, how do you not know the plans? She was in the meetings. We've literally signed everything off. Like,
Yeah.
Well,
But
I
yeah.
think a lot of the pressure got put onto me for inviting people, which is, you might think it's one of the easiest jobs because I did think that in the beginning, but I would say it's actually the hardest.
yeah, no, we have said that
One of the
was.
hardest.
It was because of the replies, and then
Because you'd message people, they'd be like, they might not reply, or they might say, yeah, I can come, and then not reply to any of your messages. They might say, I can come, and then drop out. Like, and then you're having to think of other people, and you're having to like think, well, this person would share a room with this person, so you have to invite these two people. But if that person can't come, then you have to find someone else that they're friends with. Like,
People actually don't
stressful.
realise how hard it is
It was
putting
so
together
hard.
the group for
yeah,
the trip, because there is so much to consider, especially when people are sharing rooms. Like, does that person know that person? Does anyone on the trip potentially not like anyone else on the
that's
trip?
the
Like,
thing, because I was like, oh, I'll invite
You
this
don't-
person. I'm like, that person actually don't get along at all. Can't invite them.
yeah. So it is tricky.
but we just got so lucky because what a great group of girls
That's what I was
that we
going to say.
had.
Everything happens for a reason, because
It does.
all the girls that went there were like, it was perfect.
Yeah, it was so good.
I mean, we said it after the Ibiza trip. We felt so lucky that we ended up with such
Mm.
a good group of girls. And then again, it happened again. Like, I mean, it was this. To be fair, this time round there was more people that I'd never met before, so I didn't really know what to
Yeah.
expect. And everyone
But
was so.
Just give credit to the Solskin team before we move on to the actual trip, but they did amazing. Like, yes, we were in the meetings every day, but actually making it happen. Like, we had George fly into Marrakesh beforehand to check the villa, to check the security for the girls.
I thought about everything.
We had, obviously, Annabelle, just logistics of everything, even down to like the towels, the inflatables. Like, we would have these ideas of like, yeah, these look great, but she would then go do the research, get it done. Like,
It was actually like
It
really nice
was.
because we went there and it was no like pressure and stress on us,
yeah,
which is like, it was just quite an eye-opening thing. Like, you know, you got a good team when you get there and you don't feel stressed.
Yeah,
or
it was
pressure.
so good.
So,
And you know what it was as well, because in the last one we had, there was a lot of learnings. It was our first one anyway. But like with this one, you know what I'm like for organization, and I can't fault it. Like I can't when
she's trying.
yeah, I'm trying. No, genuinely, like the young girl, Annabelle, that planned it, and she was in logistics for the whole of the trip.
Yeah, I don't know how she did that because my brain capacity.
We had the hot air balloon ride, and the night before the weather was bad. So I'm like, do we think it's going to go ahead? Like, and I'm like, oh, I think you should maybe call them and just check. She's like, already done it. So things that I'm thinking ahead the way I do, she'd already done it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I think I've finally met someone with the same brain as me.
Okay, so
Like-
basically Sarah come away from that trip and she just loves Annabelle. That's what we get. So
That is true.
outside of that, so I think I'd obviously seen pictures of the villa, but when I turned up to the villa, my jaw was on the floor. I was like,
Insane. The
it was
pictures don't
unreal.
I've
do
seen the
justice.
pictures, but yeah, the pictures
Pictures
didn't do it
just don't do
justice
justice.
at all.
Yeah, so last time when we was in Ibiza, obviously there was loads of things to do, like we booked like O Beach, etc. Also, let's talk about the fact that Grace couldn't come on the last one because she was
Yeah.
not 18.
She's not now, but it was because
Wait,
it was
on
a
this one.
Shut up.
Don't
because it was a
mean.
villa one, and we knew we weren't it wasn't places like
That's my
ocean.
first trip.
Because on the last vlog, I actually said to you when we was leaving, like, oh, Grace, you can't come. You won't even be able to come next year because you still won't be 18.
Yeah.
But you
But
made
I
it to
came
the trip.
anyways.
But that is part of why we did that as well, so that you could come. We were like
So
we
you are welcome.
Thanks,
Say thank
guys.
you. Bare minimum.
no, we did really want you there, which is why it was able to do that. And the restaurant, we had to look for a restaurant that could, because you know that restaurant we went to.
They checked ID at the restaurant.
Grace had
we
to
went
lie at the
Strange.
door.
No, because
but
you know
we-
why?
What?
When we booked
They
that
said
restaurant,
I might not be able to get
Who
in.
did they check ID to?
no.
Yeah, you did say. I heard you say
yeah.
that.
You're not listening to what I actually said then.
We both heard it.
No,
Go on.
you're now going to remember, and you're going to eat them words.
Yeah, I know what she's about to say.
Because she couldn't go in the restaurant. We had to sit outside in the garden only because there was 2 under 18s.
Why
So
would
we were
they?
allowed
So
through.
it wasn't just me, it was me and Amy.
Yeah, and in the garden, but we weren't allowed in the casino. So
Why
we
were they
probably,
quizzing her on her age?
because
she
we
literally
probably
had to lie.
had, you know, when we came round, the restaurant.
Yeah.
had
I got
an
it wrong as
outdoor
well.
bit. We probably should have got dropped off and gone in there.
Okay. Well, anyway, Grace
I
did
got
get
ID.
questioned at the door.
And I got it wrong. I said that I was 18, but I was born in 2005. And they
She's
let me
Grace's
in.
age, so it's
Yeah.
like nearly
So
20.
it'll be like
or
19, 20.
Yeah, but the guy was like, okay, cool, you can go in. I was like, whoa. I was like, she
The
definitely got
maths
that
ain't
wrong.
mathin', but
But yeah. He was his
it's
suggestion. He
because I
went,
was confident.
he went, what, so you're 18? And she went, yeah. And he went, so 05 or 06? And she went, 05. And he went, and I thought, oh, that's it. She's done. And he went, okay. I was thinking, what? It was,
But I feel like when you get older, you can't.
but he said
can't work
05 or 06, almost like as
You
in,
knew.
Testing me.
yeah, which,
I feel like-
multiple choice. And I know the answer. But he didn't know the answer. She was just so confident with it. He was like, must be.
Which I can't lie. So I was really surprised at myself because I'm awful at lying. I played, what's that game? Bullshit the other day. And I kept laughing. I was going like that. I can't lie
I was
for
actually
anything.
surprised that you managed to do that. I thought you were
Yeah.
just going to turn to me, look at me and be like, help.
That's what I normally do.
And then I walked in, I was like, I'm her dad. And he's like, okay. She's already gone in. I'm like, but yeah, so yeah, I think the thing is, when we was going to this trip, I was thinking, there's not as much to do. It's mostly like centered around the villa. But I think that actually is what made it, because doing all the stuff in the villa was like, everyone like got to know each other so well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I think the one
Yeah.
night we did go out, I actually wish we just stayed at the villa.
It was so hot. It was like 40 degrees.
Yeah, it was. But I always say for whenever I go on a brand trip, it's very rare that I actually get to know a lot of people there, because there's normally a full itinerary and everyone's in hotels. So as soon as you go into your hotel room, you're not socializing with anyone. And I hate it because you can't be like, oh, what you wearing to dinner, or you can't ask people questions because everyone's in their hotel rooms. And if you're sat at a dinner table, you're not getting to know the people that are all the way down there. Whereas like having a villa and having as much spare time as we did, it meant that you really got to know everyone, because everyone would just be sat around the pool and you can talk to everyone.
And I feel like everyone just got on like straight away. Like as soon as
But
we
even
went
the
to
fact,
villa.
like, Kyra May, she did my hair twice in that villa. She gave me a blowjob. It was so
She
nice.
did that as
Like,
well. She grabbed me from the hallway and went, come here. And
she said,
pulled me in my room.
Could've
She said,
stayed
"Oh,
your hair.
I just saw Grace looking really lost in the hallway with her hair bands." And she was like, "You okay?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm going to do my hair." She's like, "Come in here." She was like, "So she done my hair
What
that night."
people
and
don't know
yours."
about Kyra May. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, the juicy
She
gossip.
is so funny. Yeah, because
Wait,
Yeah.
That's a bit of a backhanded compliment.
I feel
No
like
one
so
knows
bad.
she's
No.
funny.
no, because
No, because I think she does come across quite
on
shy.
her like social media, obviously she does traveling, she does a lot of cooking, like she does a lot of hobbies. So I feel like her videos are based on that, and it is really hard to show your personality on TikTok. I feel like sometimes, especially if you're doing like a voiceover for something. So I was sharing a room with Kate, and our aircon was not working in the room, so we then had to move our mattress from day one into Kyra and Sam's room, and I couldn't tell if they loved or hated it. Couldn't really tell, but Kyra has like the same sort of humor as me, like quite sarcastic, dry humor, and I feel like you don't see that in her videos, and she's so funny. Like every night we were all cracking up.
And Sam said that she gave you a curfew. She was like, I told her she has to be in by 2 a.m. She was like, but at 2 a.m. on the dot, she came in.
No,
She's
I
like, it's
came in
lights
at
out.
2:02 a.m. Kate was trying to tell me off. I said, babe, you're in no position to say anything because you're also in this mattress. So you can't be
She's not
saying
your room.
if I was you, I'd hush. But yeah, every night they would. Yeah, I really couldn't tell. If they
I was
loved
saying,
or hated
imagine
us.
telling influencers, like, you're coming on a brand trip and 4 of you have to share a room and 2 of you are going to be a mattress on the floor. It would have been like,
I literally
What?
be like, I'm not going.
no way. But that happened, and it was only meant to be the first night, but we tried to get someone to fix the aircon and it couldn't be fixed. So you was on the floor in someone's room, and who else was in?
Megan and Liberty.
Well, also,
I preferred it. It was so much
a
fun.
little slumber party.
Big sleepover. And also, whose idea was it to separate us into, so basically mine, Kate, Meg and Liberty's room, so obviously we had separate rooms but they were like joined, was outside in its own like little building.
Yeah, we literally were like walking, like
Yeah.
to.
And
It didn't
I
even
felt
feel like it was on the
I
same
felt like
resort.
George and Chris, right? They really bigged it up to us. So we hadn't seen everyone else's room. And they were like, yeah, you guys have like your own little villa, you have a private pool, right? So we're walking up to it thinking, like, oh my God, we've got the best rooms. And obviously we walked in and we were like, these rooms are insane. Like they must be better than everyone else's rooms. I then took myself on a room tour and everyone's rooms was like the same. Like,
I
it
think
was
because
just
you
as
had
nice.
because you had your own thing and it had a private pool, but you never
Would
never
use that
want to
'cause you
use
wanted
it
to be
because you
with
want to be with
everybody.
Yeah,
everyone
and
else.
also the person with the biggest FOMO, how you isolating me from the group, like
Yeah.
because I'm so glad I didn't sleep in there because you know I'd wake up in the morning, say if I woke up like slept in a bit, I'd be like, oh my God, is everyone like already been up for hours by the pool socializing? Have I missed out? And this way, I didn't have that.
That is funny. I don't know how we're going to top it. I have no idea.
Maldives, that would top
I
it.
think I would love a
Maldives would be sick.
safari.
yeah.
I feel like
would be so cool.
yeah, safari would be cool. I feel like as well. I don't know. I just want to do it all over again. Like it was such a good trip.
It was so
So obviously
good.
we did the hot air balloon. So we got there in the morning. You got to get up at like 4 or 5 in the morning, whatever. You get there, and then we were just waiting around because they were like the wind is it's too windy to go up. And I'm literally like, there's hardly any wind. Like how dangerous is this? That there's like a tiny bit of wind. So he's waiting around, and all of a sudden it was go, 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 go. So literally like running over to the hot air balloon. The basket is on its side, and they're like, you have to climb into the basket.
That
So you're
lake.
now like horizontal, like parallel with the floor. Almost like you feel like you're getting into like a roller coaster.
No, but bearing in mind, up to that, like it had been very chill. It'd be like, oh, we're gonna go soon. It's not, you know, the wind. So we're all just chilling. Then it was like the minute they've decided, it was like you need to get in that basket. It's going without you. The urgency was like get in, like, and we were like whoa. Do you remember? It was literally like you split off. You go that side. You go that side. And they were shouting at us of being either side of the basket. Then it was like get in. It felt so panicked in their voices, in their instructions that I then was already on edge.
The heat from the fire thing was so intense, right? It was so loud. There was all these guys. So like it was very overwhelming all of a sudden. So
It's so hot as well. I felt like I was in the sauna.
yeah, I was literally trying to hide from the flames. So then basically the
having
basket.
like a flame gun go off behind
And it
you.
was the noise was like even louder than that, like this heat, and you're like, oh my gosh.
So then the basket kind of comes upright. We're literally about to start floating off, and Sarah literally just freaks out. She's just like, "Get me off this thing now!" For half a second, I was like, "No, you're fine." Then I looked, that look
Dead
in
in
your
their
eye.
eyes. I was like,
"Get her off this thing."
No joke, I would have jumped out as it's taken off. I was getting off. There was no holding me back. Like I was already really scared getting in the way they get in. The panic and the rush of it, I didn't feel at ease. And then laying down, and then the heat, the noise, the chaos. And then as we got up, I don't know what, I just literally remember getting up and it just making me feel like if I'm up in the air and I'm stuck, I can't get off. And then like, I was like, I'm out. I'm out of here. I had to, and I'm like, get me out of here before I've even finished my words. My leg is out and I'm like getting out of that basket. Like,
it freaks me out because it's like, you know, that fear of your straps not being on a roller coaster and then you try and tell someone and it goes. That's how it felt, because I thought the guy was still pulling the thing, so she's freaking out and he's still pulling the thing to try and make it go up, and then I was thinking like, oh my god, it's gonna go up, and you're gonna be like freaking out,
Dangling off the side.
But say what the guy in the van was doing to you.
oh yeah, so basically, I don't, if you've never been on a hot air balloon, firstly, don't. We've actually realised how dangerous they are. So if you go on a hot air balloon, they can't guide it. So basically, you have a driver. So we had a minibus for all the girls, and George was driving. So we have to follow the hot air balloon. But as I got off the hot air balloon, the guy that was driving us couldn't speak English. So he's just literally pointing, ha ha ha, you, ha ha ha, like this at me. With my,
Scared.
yeah, with my hands. And I'm like, yeah, like I am.
Mock
I
at
was
you.
so scared. But then he went and talked to somebody else and they look at me and he goes, ha, you, ha. Like, where he's obviously telling them how scared I am.
That's so out of
Then
order.
we just follow your hot air balloon. And then I'm hearing all these things of like the girls that didn't get in, of like, oh, we didn't get on because my mum said about the phone wires, or like this or like that, or like, oh, I just didn't go on because I'm scared of heights. But I was then like, oh my gosh, seeing you land, you're coming in to like a field full of phone wires, and I was like, oh my gosh, like.
And the thing is, the guy was so like, he snapped at me because he explained like how you should be for landing, and I asked again, and then he's like, how many times?
I would snap at you
Why?
because you've already been told once, and you've done it before.
I've not done it before.
Yeah, you got in
My
that
first time.
position.
Yeah, but the thing is,
You know when
You
like
do
someone's
that
at,
a
I
lot.
do have ADHD, so if someone gives instructions, sometimes I have to like hear it again, right? So I just asked again.
Copy
and then
the person next to you, like, why?
No one was listening. I've literally got it on the vlog. No one
Then
listened
why
to
did
him.
we all know what to do?
You were all taking pictures, so
Why
I
did
was
we
all.
all know what to do then?
And did you tell
Riddle
me
me
that he
that.
I was-
shouted at your side to say,
No.
get down?
They were all taking pictures and completely ignoring what he was saying. Didn't even acknowledge what he said. So then I just said, I was also asking something, thinking maybe everyone else will listen. I was trying to do everyone a favour. I was like, oh, so how is it again? And he literally was like, how many times do I need to tell you? And then
down.
he was like so stressed coming in for the landing. So basically everyone filmed themselves during the landing, and the landing was crazy. Like literally we were bouncing along the floor. And then those are all the clips that went viral.
Bang! Like I literally whacked my head against the thing. My camera went flying onto Kate, who was sat next to me. Like it was a really bumpy landing.
To be fair,
And then, you know, when it then starts to tilt back, like it then tilts back in its original position, I then was thinking like, oh God, is this it? Like, is it just going to completely like tipple over or something?
the landing was the only part I liked.
I actually
when
thought
we
it
were-
was fun.
No, when it first went off, you know, when it was like this and we went like to
Yeah.
straight, I started screaming. I was like, oh my God. And I was like, oh my God, we're so high. And I looked down and we're still on the ground. And I was so scared. And then we went up, and the whole time I was like sweating. I was so scared. And I've never been scared of heights. I've been like scared of rides and stuff, but not because of the heights. And then when I was looking down at the ground, I hated it. The whole time I was like, I just want to get down. And then when we landed, I loved it. I was like, it feels like a roller coaster.
How was that fun? How was it?
I actually thought it was fun.
Nearly though.
I literally was fearing for my life.
I nearly went up the wrong way. You know how like it's like that, and you have your back there and your feet here.
Yeah.
I nearly put my back on the ground, and I would have done like a backflip. And me and I were both up, like with our legs in the air. But
Yeah, I thought the landing was fun. But so the other like main activity that we did was quad biking, right? So it's not like how I pictured it. I thought it was gonna be like sand dunes. I don't know what I was thinking like when you go to Dubai.
Yeah,
It's
that's what
not.
I was thinking.
You're going through like a very flat desert. You're going along a path, and you're
quite
basically you're all in single file, and you're going very slow. And it was boring, wasn't it? It was like
Yeah,
really
I had
boring.
Casey on mine, and I was literally saying, I'm so bored right now. Like, because you're going for ages.
And your
Like,
finger
I feel like it was like 40 minutes in. I'm thinking, like, I can't lie, I'm so bored right now. And we have to do this on the way back. And then she was saying so there was this guy that was going along on his own one on the side, like just to make sure everyone was
Keeping in line.
yeah. And she asked him how long until we were we were stopping over at this place for like tea and drinks and whatever. And he said another 20 minutes. So she was going, no, like we want to go faster, like make it faster. So he's like, yeah, jump on mine. And she's saying like, no, I want to be, as in I want to get there quicker. And he's like, yeah, jump on mine. So then she got on his. He then like took her off, like, because I'm thinking, yeah, that's jokes. And he took her off, did not see them. I thought, oh my God, he's taken her. Like, that's it, she's gone. I was like, is she going to turn up in the next place? And then I saw her. He then like took her onto the side of the bike on 2 wheels going along. And I said to her, I was like, that was me. I would fall off. Anyways, on the way back, I was like, okay, it's now my turn. I'm going to go on the back. So he's like going really fast, like quickly changing. I was thinking like, I'm actually a bit scared. And then he stopped it. He like looked at his friend and was like, they were like talking in their language, so I couldn't understand what they were saying. And he was saying something like, couldn't work out what he was saying. Then he was like, oh, sit on the front, hold on to this handlebar. So I was like, okay, what the hell is he doing? He then gets on the back and does a wheelie. I'm then thinking, yeah, this is sick. So I'm like filming with my camera. All of a sudden I feel the bike go like that. And where it goes like that, my camera falls and I've fallen off the quad bike because he nearly did drop it, right? I then was thinking, oh my God, it was me that was the problem. I just randomly let go. But I watched back the video and he put his leg on the floor. So obviously as it scraped, he's like jolted the thing back. I saw the light. I thought that was my time. I thought this bike was then going to fall completely on top of me.
Yeah, because as we drove past and we saw you getting on his bike, me and Mum both at the same time were like, be careful to him.
Yeah, but then
next thing you know, I literally just see you like falling off.
Because you think, oh, he does this day in, day out. But then I also think he's going to try and show off.
Yeah. That's what worried me. I think he's going to show off to you lot. But
yeah. I mean, it made for the content, so.
But the best thing about the quad bike trip is that basically we got hit with a storm on the way back, right? So it was thunder, lightning, and then it was hail, like to the point it actually hurt.
Bearing in mind,
also the mud flicking you, and it felt like injections.
No, that was the hail.
That was the hail.
Wait, that wasn't mud. That was hail.
That was the hail bouncing off of you.
It hurts so
I thought
much.
that was the mud.
Yeah, I thought it was the mud too.
There's mud flicking on me, really.
Because it was only on that side of us. It was only on your left side. And on the left side was big,
because of the wind.
like sand duney, like mud, whatever that was. It didn't hit you from that side. So I was thinking it also is where the wind was pushing on the little stones.
But the thing is, Sarah on the way out there at first, like Sarah's always a bit scared with those things. So even I went to go down the side of everyone because I thought I'm just going to go to the front.
I just need like 5-10 minutes of like, let me just feel this out. Because I said it was the first time I've ever been on one. I was like, so can you just like, so here we go, here hold back, and then go, because he needs like, so right up behind the next person. I'm like, can you just like calm down? And he's like, let's go off track. I'm like, do not. I'm like, get in that line.
He literally was grabbing me and pulling me back and was like, don't do it.
I was more scared. I was when I got on the back of Casey's, she's going like to each side, and I'm literally thinking this thing is going to tip over. Even the guy said like, careful, you're going to tip over. She was worse than the guy. She's like an adrenaline junkie.
But then Mum on the way back in the storm loved it. She was having the time of her life. Like literally, it's like the best thing that ever happened to her.
Because it hurt.
But it also felt chaotic.
It was chaotic because the guys were like slowly on the way there. Then the back is like, go. We got split into 2 groups and it was like a race who can get back first. And the rain was hurting and it was hitting and you couldn't even see through your goggles.
I thought he was going to hate that.
I literally was like in hysterics. I thought it was the funniest thing ever.
At one point, everyone was waiting in a line to cross the road and the guy was like here waiting to tell them to go. Casey goes, screw this. Goes out of the line and just goes straight, and I literally was like looking at the road thinking, oh my God, we're gonna get here.
Well, that's what I wanted to do. I wasn't allowed. But yeah, so that was good. What else did we do? I'm trying to think. Like day one, obviously we got there.
We just had like a welcome dinner.
The only thing I would say,
the dancers.
Oh yeah, we had the guys with the drums and stuff. But the only thing I would say in that villa, so basically the great thing about that villa was it had like chefs, and we didn't have to leave for anything. Everyone was like cooking food, but my God, do you have to wait so long for everything?
It would be like, lunch is at like 1, for example. We didn't get that lunch till like 3.
I don't know if it's like a cultural thing. Like some countries, like everyone has like their own kind of culture. Like maybe, I don't know if it's like a culture thing or whatever, but it was like it become like an ongoing joke in the villa, and that's the thing.
And also, like, we would have seen them in the morning prepping for that lunch. Like, they were telling us they are prepping for that lunch, but then it was always so late, which then put everything out. Like, our plans for the evening, we had to change the quad bikes for an hour. We had to change that time we did we had a white party, and we had like
we should talk about that separately.
yeah.
But yeah,
even that, like, we had to push everything back because.
But I was going to say, I think that's how you also know that you've got such a good group of influencers there, because with all that stuff like late food, all this kind of stuff, like the room's not working out, like because it felt like everyone was just on a holiday as friends. Like no one was like moaning, because it didn't feel like a brand trip. And I think that's what
I think
a
as
lot
well,
of
like
the
the
girls were saying.
staff that were there was so nice.
We were filming TikTok.
You didn't even feel like cross of them that it was like it's so late. You know, like if you're sat in a restaurant and you've gone and people can get a bit aggy, like no one did. It was just so chill. It was so nice.
Yeah, the white party was so good. It was so good. So yeah, go on, Sarah. You say what we had, because you was probably more involved in it than me. As we saw from the TikTok. I'm Joe, and I organised.
So we obviously had a DJ. Which I felt was very important to have, because I wanted a bit more like oots, oots, oots. And then we had a fire breather, but they also did other things like 10 somersaults in one. Acrobats. And then a belly dancer, which I felt was obviously very fitting being in Morocco. I was going to say Marrakesh. We were in Marrakesh.
Yeah. And then obviously after, like towards the end, because it was like Chris, our MD's birthday, everyone's like, just throw Chris in the pool. We're literally chasing him out. He's fast. He's very
so fast.
In the end, he just surrendered, because we were like, can you just surrender? Because we were fed up with chasing you around. Everyone threw him in, and then everyone just started throwing everyone in the pool.
Like half of the girls went in and just all got in, and half of us were like running away of like, no, we don't want to get in the pool. Like people were like, I've just washed my hair, or like, no, not this dress.
Yeah, but I felt like secretly they wanted to get in. They just didn't want to be like pick-me's being like, oh, don't. Do you know what I mean?
I genuinely,
because if they really, really didn't want to, we wouldn't have been able to get them in.
no, there was too many of you. There was
Some people
way
didn't
too
get
many.
in, right?
But basically, I'm one of those ones that didn't want to go in at this point. I was very happy to not be in. Once I was in, I actually really enjoyed it. But at this point in time, I was like, no, I don't need to go in. And I started running back with the other girls. I'm like, no, I don't want to be involved in that. And the guy that worked there, he kind of just went like, at me. Like, and he looked in the moment really scary, because it was quite dark now. And I don't know why. Sometimes I don't like being chased. You know how like I don't like it.
Except when you get chased up the stairs.
I said I felt like it was like Halloween, like no joke. And then seeing him like at me, I was like, fuck it, I'll get in. I run backwards and I just jumped in. I thought, I don't want to be pushed. I don't want to be grabbed. Like I'll just get in. Like, so I got in because I was scared.
I feel like it
It's so
happened
much
three, 4 times, like just everyone fully clothed, just jumping in the pool. Like when we got back from quad bikes, it's like everyone just jump in the pool.
We did,
Yeah,
yeah.
me and Casey got in that pool like
The second you
times.
got
yeah.
Not me though.
No, Casey Cleaver.
And then we jumped in the pool. And we're like,
Squad
oh, it's
bikes,
lightning.
yeah.
We should probably get out.
No, but we were like, let me say it again. We were like, let's be spontaneous and just jump in the pool. And then we realised the pool cover was on. We had to wait like 20 minutes for it to go. And then it just felt like really like planned after that. And it was...
We literally stood there in the rain just waiting for this pool cover to open. It was like 1 mile an hour, like just crazy, yeah. Highlights of the trip, lowlights of the trip.
Highlights.
Mine was the
Me
white
and
party.
Casey were like this on the trip.
You found a new bestie.
You made a new friend.
Yeah, guys, I've made a new friend. That is so cringe to say. But no, me and Casey got along so well. And I didn't even
know-
really think about it before the trip of like, I don't know, I didn't expect it. Not that I didn't think I wouldn't get along with her, but I just didn't expect to get on as much
as well
as
as
we
you
did.
did.
I didn't know that you guys hadn't even met before, because you got on so well.
Yeah, you
I
thought we'd
I
met
thought you'd been
before.
like friends or something.
We were like the two Caseys, because that's what we are. But no, we're now actually going on a trip again together on a brand trip in like 2 weeks. So we've got that coming up.
I thought you were going away with her as well another time, like
Well,
personally.
she invited me to go to Ibiza, but I don't know yet with the dates and that. That hasn't been like confirmed. But yeah.
What was your low? Any low of the trip?
Yeah, not winning the competition.
I was gonna say to Grace, I thought that was gonna be
Hey.
your highlight.
I forgot about that.
So just for
Guys,
context,
they like robbery.
No.
basically we split the girls into like 4 different teams, and they had a couple of hours to basically come up with an idea for an ad campaign for Solskin, film it, edit it, everything, right? So, and they could do whatever they want. So obviously they were all going to be like fairly funny. So we then all got in the cinema, watched it together, and then me and Sarah had to judge. Both of yours were very good, very, very funny, right?
And
But
then
mine
theirs
was
was
just
more
better.
creative. Casey's was more creative, 100%. Like it was.
It was like a mini movie.
Because the thing is, right, when we were planning it, so you know how, them videos on TikTok when it's like, it was this lady and she sprayed water between her legs, and then you clip it to like chucking water at someone, and then
Like a
them doing like
transition.
an advert. Yeah. You would have seen them on TikTok, like if I think someone's jumped off a moving car and then the person rolls into it. So originally we were going to do a compilation.
Wait. No, that's
Compilation.
Yeah, of loads of things like that. And I said, no, I don't think that's creative enough. Like, I think people are going to go all out. And I don't think, because that's already a TikTok trend, I was like, I don't think we'll win for that. I'm very competitive. So I was like, I have come here to win. So I was going through so many different ideas in my head. Like, we kept changing it. Then we got our idea, which was like basically like loads of different adverts into one. But we had a whole storyline. And then we sit down. And two out of the 4 just did TikTok trends. I said, are you joking? I thought everyone was going to do like acting. And then she won.
Okay, my video.
I honestly.
Grace's video probably would never.
I'm not going to live this
Grace's
one down.
video probably won't get shown because it
But-
was.
So we're all in the room. It was me, Naya, and Amy, and they went, "Okay, let's go find someone because we're not creative." And I went, "We haven't even talked about it yet. Like, let's at least brainstorm." And then I was like, "Oh, let's do this skit, this skit." They went, "We're not doing a skit. It's too cringe." I was like, "Okay, fine." I was like, "Let's do a music video then." And then they were picking like these songs, and I was like, "We need to do a funny song at least." So we did the "Oh, you ladies, pop you up
No,
like
my
this."
neck,
Oh, my back.
and then we don't have to
My-
say the rude
And
words.
my-
Yeah.
Yeah. Grace goes straight in with the hardcore bits.
Yeah, and then but I had this idea, and they kept like, they were like, "Oh, that's gonna be so weird," and it is weird. I can't.
Weird but funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, the whole video is rude.
It's
But
basically just them like dancing the song.
The
but like
reason
putting
she
Solskin on.
won because we were judges and Casey's group was very creative and it'll probably be shown. Grace's can't, but that's why it won, because it gave us that shock factor. Everyone in the room was like, like, and laughing, and it just, I was like, we have to look at everyone's reaction to the video, and it just got more in the room.
It did, but when we got out, I did actually. Sorry, guys. I did say I think Casey's group, just because I could see like the creativity that went into it, and it was very funny. But I also then did agree, like Grace's one.
And I was
It
like,
took us like 3 hours to film and edit that.
but not even that. I'm like, when you've
too,
come
yeah.
away from that, whose video would you then want to watch straight again? It was Grace's. It wasn't Casey's.
But that
was
wasn't
creative,
the
but
point.
you've
It
seen-
was to create like. I just don't think that was.
Well,
Funny how
any
both
of
of our kids' groups were in the top 2 for the running. That seems like it's proper rigged,
I
doesn't
think
it?
personally anyone can use a TikTok sound.
Yeah,
Make
but
that funny. To actually,
Yeah,
tag.
so-
Right, guys, let's not argue about
Anyway.
it.
But now we've won a spa trip, so where's my spa trip?
Oh yeah, you guys were on a spa trip. You got us.
Anyway, what was your high and low of the week?
My high was the white party. I just loved it. Everyone was jumping in the pool, dancing, I was twerking. And then my low was I was sharing with Naya and Amy, and there was a double bed, and then there was a mattress like all the way in the corner on the floor. So I was like, I dibs not that bed. And then we all slept in the double bed, and then like after, because like I was like, I don't want to be in the middle, and like Amy would go sleep first sometimes. I was like, I ended up in the little mattress on the floor.
It was movable. You could have moved. Didn't have to be away.
Yeah, I
in the
know, but
corner.
I was just
You could have pushed it closer to the bed. What about yours? What's your high and low?
I just had so many highlights on the trip. I literally feel like, yeah, the white party was pretty sick. To be honest, the piece of content which cracks me up, I think I watched so many times. So So George, who's our co-founder of Solskin, we set him a secret challenge that he had to go and make a TikTok, like a really cringy TikTok, right? And no one else could know about this. So
Oh yeah, really cringy TikTok, the same one that you did.
I was just gonna say,
but
Thank you.
Joel
Thank
did
you
that
for
out.
admitting it.
Joel did that out of choice. His wasn't.
no, but mine was
secret
taking the
challenge.
mic. Exactly what Casey said in the clip. Anyway, let me explain it. So basically, and if I filmed that on my own, like George did, of course, but I filmed it with
Yeah,
everyone.
but I just hate that TikTok sound and
That's fine. Anyway,
chose that.
I did the.
Don't say it, please.
did the
so yeah,
bacon.
basically George had to go and film a TikTok of himself. He's not, by the way, he's not an influencer. Like, he's not a creator. He had a TikTok account with
4
6
followers,
and
yeah.
no posts. He had to film it, and then individually, whilst being secretly filmed, he had to go up to each of the girls and say, "Oh, I really want to basically become a bit more like an influencer." Like, he was using me as an example. Like Joel, I saw Joel film this one yesterday, and it did really well. Like, do you think I should post this? So that was the first question, and you could see the awkwardness, right? And then the follow-up question was, wait, so the one that he did, he went up to Kaci Cleaver. Oh my god, her face when she's watching it is like, oh
You
my
can tell she
god.
thinks it's terrible.
And then she's like, nice. And then he's like, oh, do you think I should post it? And she was like,
She's like, didn't Joel do this but for like fun and the girls were in it?
like, wasn't he taking the piss when he did it?
Yeah.
And he was like, no. And then he basically turned around and went, if I post it, will you reshare it? And she went, no. He went, oh, why not? She went, it's not funny enough. She went, maybe do it again, but like move your hips or something, right? And then she pats him on the shoulder, like a sympathy pat, and kind of walks off like, as he says,
You
oh
know, the
my
people
God.
please hear me. I'd be like, yeah, of course I'll repost it. Like, I would never
you
have
get
the heart
asked?
to say. No, he didn't ask me. I wish he did because
We then went for
I
dinner
would've
that
regretted it.
evening.
No, wait. Can I say
Yeah, go
that
on.
when he told Kyra though, she laughed thinking it was a joke, and he looked her dead in the eye and said, "Why are you laughing? I wouldn't laugh if it was you."
She felt so bad.
And she then
That's
felt
the night
so
she did my hair
guilty.
because I went in there and she was like, no, George. And I had to pretend I didn't know. She was like, no, George has just come up to me and like did this. I was like, no way. I was thinking, how did he act? Like, he's the nicest person. So for him to say that, his acting skills
I
were
need
on
to
point.
see the
But then
video.
we went all out for dinner that evening. And bearing in mind, this TikTok is in his drafts. I then get his phone and say, oh, let me see it. I haven't actually seen it yet. And then I post it. And then he was like, no.
And it actually come up on my TikTok as well.
Yeah.
Came up on mine as well.
Imagine he just goes viral and he just becomes an influencer.
30 million. The next
Bless him. Oh, that was so fun. Oh, Sarah, what was your highlight and low light of the trip?
My highlight,
I don't know what her low light was.
yeah, my low light obviously was the hot air balloon. Like
You didn't do it.
no, but even being that feeling that I got, I don't like it. My highlight, I think, not to sound really cheesy, but I genuinely think like the friendships that we've made. I really, really enjoyed even the people we work with and the people that the influencers that came. I genuinely just loved everyone's company. I really enjoyed
I think as well, like
that.
on the Ibiza trip and then on this one as well, like the girls were all coming up to us and saying like, well, not, I can't say categorically everyone, but so many of them come up to us, like, this is the best brand trip I've been on, or this doesn't even feel like a brand trip, like literally
Yeah.
just feels like a holiday.
And that for us is the aim. Like
Yeah.
I don't
We don't want
want
to
I don't want to
feel
give our
like-
secret. I also don't give our secret to other ones
Oh,
because
don't give
our
our secrets
our
away.
trips are good, but I don't want we don't want that.
Secret ingredient.
What's the secret?
You don't know what it is.
Is there
No,
though?
as in us trying to not be so full on of like
To make it not
it's
feel like a brand
chill.
trip.
We're not making you get like
I want a brand though, because then it means that every brand trip I go on will be good.
All right, so we've got some questions from our listeners. So the first one that we've got is, Grace, would you ever do Locked In? I feel like we've answered this one before.
Have we?
I feel
Oh,
like
probably.
ages ago, maybe.
I would. I still have to wait another year because I'm not 18. Well, I actually turn 18 when it's like normally filming, so my birthday would be on it. But I think I would. I think it depends who's going though, because I'm quite like a.
introvert.
To be fair, I'm an introvert, but I'm an extrovert when I like if I know
Introvert,
people.
extrovert.
Yeah, I'm an introverted extrovert. Like if I know you, I'm like more. Yeah. So I think I need to know at least one person to be able to go in.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. But I think as well, like in that situation, well, Casey would say, like, you probably get to know each other very quickly and get quite comfortable
you
with each
do.
other because you're just all in the
But
same
I
space.
also was the same because I was going to say no at first, and then I found out 10 was going on it.
Would
So
you have
it
not
is-
gone in if 10 wasn't in it? No.
I don't know. I think if I knew no one, I feel like there would have been a high chance I actually would have said no. I think it just made me feel comfortable knowing, okay, I at least have one person.
Yeah.
Fair. And so this question: which of your parents are you most similar to?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say me and Grace. I feel like it's type A people over there, type B people over this side.
I feel like Grace has my kind heart though.
But I was gonna say you
I
though.
got
Then
kinda-
I think I'm most like you
What?
because I think I'm good at arguing.
Okay.
I think I have more like when it comes to like social media and that. I feel like I take more of
Creative,
you.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Like if you comes to organisation, I'm more like mum. I think I'm a bit of a mixture of you two. I feel like
I think you both are.
Well, I think I'm like most, but I think our ADHD makes us just more similar. Because I just
Messy.
do like on the
Unorganised.
trip.
I
I
think
forgot
you're-
like I forgot a toothbrush, pajamas.
and we're both funny.
Yeah.
I think-
She right. She was thinking about that for a
Yeah.
while. We're having another conversation. She's like, and we're both funny.
just trying
Yeah.
to prove that we're more
No.
like.
Oh, that's cool.
Jokes.
I think Grace has a thoughtful side and a caring side that I think is more like me.
You think I do?
You're really reaching over there, my friend. She's like, and I think Casey and I think Grace. Okay, so we spoke about manifesting it in a previous episode. What are you girls manifesting this year? Oh, I know what Grace is manifesting. What? What do you mean? What? To pass your driving test this
Oh
year?
yeah.
I think
You
we
know
need to
what?
manifest just that you actually get to take your test because we've
No.
had twice now.
The first one, in case
We
you
are
haven't-
manifesting you pass this test, that's for sure. Our life
Yeah.
would be so much easier.
The first
God.
one, it was I had my place. It was in Mitcham, and we turned up, and it was like 7 a.m. on a Sunday morning, and there was no one there, and we were like ringing them, no one was answering, and then we finally got through to like a voicemail, and it was like, oh, if you're going for this test, it's changed to a hotel. So when we got there, we were late, and they wouldn't let me do it. And then my second one, I was driving up. And then they're like, your examiner's ill, so you can't do it. And now, third time lucky.
Yep, third time lucky.
No, I haven't done it
Third
yet.
time lucky.
Because Grace went out, I think it was yesterday. Grace went out and we had to drop her there. Me and Joe are on a walk and she rings and she's like, hey, anyone able to pick me up now? She's like half an hour away. We're in the middle of the woods. Like, no, Grace, can't
Well,
just
she
come
says,
pick-
can anyone pick me up? Be like, yeah, when? It's
now.
now. Like, just what?
No, not
Just
as
a little
easy
bes of
as
notice.
that. Not as
But
easy.
yeah,
as
You
it-
guys weren't picking up your phones, though. That wasn't the first time I tried to call you.
You still would have been
And I was
like,
texting
no.
on the group chat.
You would have been like,
Well,
no.
anyway, it will be very nice for all of us when Grace passes. So that's what I was saying you was manifesting.
Oh, that even wasn't it. The other week, I was with like Nine, we're having a conversation. I was like, oh, I just want to go to like concerts and events with brands. And then today, I just got invited to a concert with a brand. So I was like,
Oh,
oh,
nice.
Yeah, we got invited together.
What?
Sister goals.
What concert?
With
With Drake and Party Next Door.
Which is
Right.
so weird, right? Because I've just signed with a new management and they send over a form that you write all your hobbies and things down. So if they have something come up, they can see if it matches like your interests. Literally, it was artists. I wrote blah, 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 blah. One of them was being Drake. I then, after I had a break, went on my phone and I got invited to go to Drake. I was like, that's so weird because I was just writing
Wow.
How mad.
that. Thinking like, I was trying to think of like concerts I'd want to go to. I put Drake. And
I'd
yeah.
go to any concert. I love a concert. But yeah,
I'm 50-50.
love
and
it.
also, I did think it was like it's nice that they invited Grace as well because she hasn't like worked with them before. So I was like,
Yeah.
that's nice. That
And
we
I
can go
accidentally,
together.
I opened their like Instagram page and I went on the DMs and they had a DM for like
She
months
ignored
ago.
them.
Well, that's
accidentally-
Grace probably is being invited. She's just not opening her DMs and looking.
I then had to help her write the reply back to be like, I'm really bad with my DMs. I didn't see this. So yeah, I'm getting confirmation that I can definitely go because I do have something around then. But I really hope I can go because I think it'll be a really fun evening.
Nice. Sarah, what are you manifesting?
Nothing. I'm
Wow.
going to manifest.
Nothing.
I think sometimes you should keep
Oh,
your
I'm
manifestation to
Inspirational.
yourself though, like specific.
I think you should keep your manifestations to yourself.
I have. I haven't said anything.
And she said it like, I think you should keep your opinions to yourself. No one of those. I think you should
I was
keep
actually going to say, I've got a couple, but I'm keeping them to myself.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, well, you just
Anyway.
spoiled mine then.
No, because
No, I'm not
yours
saying-
would
I'm not
be-
saying you have
yours
to
would have
keep
been
them.
done by the point that this.
yeah, I don't think I think you can don't think it ruins it if you speak it. I just think you got to speak it around the right people.
Yeah.
Don't ever
evil
speak the
energy.
manifestations around
Some
the wrong
people
people.
are preying on your downfall, guys.
Because they will.
Okay, next question.
Mhm.
How many kids do you both want, and what would their names be?
I'm not saying the names because people are going to take them.
Oh, look at, she's changed her behaviour now. I think I'd want like 3,
Yeah,
maybe
that's what
4.
I want 3. I feel like 3 is quite a good amount.
Is that because you also look at Emma's little family and think, oh, they're all cute?
I just think, oh, it's so
Calm,
stressful.
cool, calm, collected over
Oh
there.
my God.
There's so many
too
of
many.
us.
I'd rather
Yeah,
more than less.
No, you know what it is because our little ones together are chaotic. Like, because if I had like you two and another couple, like, remember we were
If we
saying,
hadn't had such a big gap,
yeah,
it would have been different, I think.
Mine's like, 3 or 4, I think.
yeah, I feel like that's quite nice because if we're having to babysit all these kids, we don't want them all having like 5 kids each.
Oh, talking of kids,
Jeez.
guys, Mum is trying to keep me hostage. I'm not even joking. She is trying to build a cult in our house. So basically, obviously, I have my own little section of the house that has like kitchen, front room, and a bedroom. And she has really fixated in her head that I am gonna have my boyfriend's gonna move in, and I don't even have a boyfriend, by the way.
Oh, that's my manifestation.
That I'm gonna have my first kid in there and live in
No,
there. with
it's
my
been-
first
She wasn't
kid.
even talking about it with Casey. She just told me that. She was
No,
like, oh, I think, no, she's fine. She was like, oh, I think she's going to have her first kid in there. I was like,
Give
when
her-
am I getting to move
No,
in here?
no,
Give him Rapunzel.
You're taking it out of
And then-
context.
and then-
You're taking it out of
And then
context.
she sent me the house next door that is up for sale and sent it to me. And I thought, because Nan and Grandad were joking about you guys buying them that house, right? So I was like replying about Nan and Grandad living there. And then she was like, no, like I mean that you should buy it now, rent it out. And then when you're ready to move in,
You got
can
your
have
house.
it. And I'm like, just let me spread my wings and fly, woman.
You can, just next door.
Yeah.
I said,
I'm going to cut down the tree. We're going to share the garden.
If my section of the house, I wouldn't even have a boyfriend move in there because I'm not sacrificing any wardrobe space. There's no space. That
Anyway,
wardrobe
it
is
got
mine.
taken out
Wow.
of context. Someone just said to me about Casey having a family, and I was like, well, she has the space to have a baby there, and she'd probably really like that.
Doesn't really have the space.
It does
though.
have the space.
Not enough
I was
wardrobe
like,
space, babe.
Baby just needs a tiny little Moses basket, and that is that for the first. I said,
I'm starting
I know
to
we
sort of
were
get,
young.
you know, when people talk about like their crazy mother-in-laws who are like well interfering, like I'm
If I
starting
was
to
a
see
son-
signs
if I
that
was a
potentially
son,
you are
I
that
would
one.
I would have the mum that wants to marry them.
Oh my
If
God.
I was a boy, you'd be the type of mum that would want to marry their son if they could.
no, that's weird. That's weird. You're taking out of context.
That's the line.
I was saying that we lived with my mum.
We were
and we
18.
we were 18. But even when I
homeless.
I've spoke to people who had children later on, and they've said they moved in with their mum for the first few months because it was just like, what do I do? Help me
Yeah,
out.
we have loads of little
I-
sisters we'd know.
I have the memories of like the evenings when it was hard, and I would knock and ask my mum just to like, please take her. Like, I need to get some sleep. I was like, for that reason.
No, I think it's nice. You don't have to explain it. I get it.
No,
It's
because
nice.
it
It's
was all
just
taken
so
out of
funny.
context. I'm not being like, you're going to be locked in then have your first baby. Like,
No, I know.
Jeez. Okay. Let's.
I'm only a little bit crazy.
So someone put it. Would either of you take the Conda name? If
Yeah.
You got, oh, you would.
Yeah, I would. I've always said I would. 'Cause I'm like, no one else has got the Conda name bloodline I need. I'll take it.
Okay.
I think it just depends what the husband's surname is. If it's an awful surname, I'm not taking that.
What's an awful surname? Let's just offend a load of people.
Let's not. Let's not.
Something that doesn't
Let's
go with
not.
my name.
Okay, next question. How do you feel about the new house?
Middle of it.
Fucking love it.
It's bloody
Right,
fantastic. Bloody
No, I
fantastic.
really like it. So the work's been done on my room currently. So I haven't moved into my side of the house yet. So it didn't really, I kind of like outside of mind, I kind of just like forgot I was even doing it. And now that it's gotten closer to me actually moving in and buying like home stuff, like I'm really, really excited now to have my independence and just move away from this crazy family.
Oh.
Jokes.
Moving away. Literally, I can open the door like, hello.
No, but I was
Hi,
thinking
Jackie.
like,
Here's a big lock on that
it's
door.
going to be weird like when I just come home from something and I just...
Don't come into our part of the house. Yeah.
Yeah, like don't say hi. Or like the other day when I asked you guys, do I wear the hat or the glasses?
Oh my God, you're gonna have to come
I
into
would
our
have to
part
make
of the
my
house.
own decision.
No, you should FaceTime us. Mum, can you come next door? Okay, so the next question is, Have you got any bad dating experience? Anything like worst dating experience?
I ain't even got dating experience.
I was gonna say you got to go on dates to get a bad one.
So someone asked, if you had to choose 2 influencers to be your parents for the day, who would it be and why?
That'd be weird.
Or
for me
even,
'cause
like,
it's
1.
years old, like.
Or even like one, like, as in it doesn't have to be a couple, or you could choose like, do you know what I mean?
2 people, just choose. Yeah.
I don't really know.
Oh, who would I choose? I might have to play this. I know I'm quite old to be playing this, but I do have a mum and dad, so I
I'll
can
just
play
choose
this,
one
right?
mum. I'll choose Kris Jenner for a day.
That's not an influencer though.
Yeah,
She kind of is,
He is
though.
an influencer.
Alright,
Influencer
Well, yeah, if we're talking about
Okay,
that, then yeah,
Kim.
one of the Kardashians.
okay,
obviously,
influencer
isn't he?
then. Influencer. This is such a random question, but I love it. Which influencer? Kyra May could be my mum because she's such.
Oh, the food she cooks. Yes, actually.
She was your mum. Going to the airport home, she had your passport.
I could not be trusted. But she also was saying that she makes like a packed lunch for her dad and she cooks for them.
She did my hair. Yeah, she's mum.
She's yeah.
Why
And
can
then
I
dad.
actually not think of anyone?
I can't really think
I'm not very good.
I'd rather just be an orphan, thanks.
because no one could live up to us. I get it.
No,
Thank
because I
you.
think I'm just better on my own.
You are not. You've just said how you had to ask me whether you put hat or glasses on.
Yeah,
You are not.
And it was neither.
She will be in the annex with the baby.
Grace, who would?
Why can't I not think of any people now? Like,
Could
because
be a
we've said it.
YouTuber. Could be a TikToker. Could be an Instagrammer. Could be a
Oh, I know who my dad would be.
who?
David Dobrik.
I was thinking that. I was literally thinking that. I was saying I
That'd be
don't know if it
wild.
really counts, but yeah,
You wouldn't want to do any of the stuff he does though, because you'd be too scared.
I'd watch
you'll
it.
be terrified.
I'd watch
Oh
it.
my god, you'd be so scared. You'd be in
24
constant
hours.
fear of your life.
Your dad's doing a line of cokes in front of you. Crazy.
Not my real dad. Joke.
Yeah, couldn't be further from the truth. All right, guys. So we have this section of the podcast called the Council Couch. I'm sure you know because you probably watch every episode, right?
No.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
There are guns
So
in the house.
basically, people send in their dilemmas, but basically, we just give our opinions. And we
Okay.
also give a disclaimer
I
not
love
to actually
my
listen to us.
opinions.
Okay, this one is on
love
friendship.
talking.
So, here we go. I love expressing myself through my clothes, hair, and even the goofy phrases I come up
You're
with.
so goofy. Sorry.
So, at first, I was flattered when my friend Lily started trying my outfits and hairstyles, but it didn't stop there. She began copying everything: my favorite cafe order, my catchphrases, even how I styled my bedroom. Soon, it felt like I was living with a mirror of myself rather than a friend. Ooh, it sounds scary. Da-na-na-na-na-na. I remember waking up one morning, scrolling Instagram and seeing a photo of Lily dressed head to toe in the same look I posted days ago. She hadn't even acknowledged taking inspiration. It's exhausting and invasive. I started to dread hanging out because it felt like performing rather than being me. Now I'm torn between confronting Lily, saying honestly, I feel uncomfortable when you copy everything. I need my style and my space. And just stepping back to protect my own sense of identity. I deserve to feel unique, not like I've been cloned. Am I being petty or is this a legitimate reason to be upset?
So
I feel like everyone's had a friend at some point kind of
Yeah.
do this, right?
Yeah.
I feel like
but I do feel like
Flattering.
sometimes I copy people.
But like with everything though.
No,
I feel
okay,
like
not
that'd be a
like
bit-
that.
that would
But
just
like,
start to
say
get
if I
jarring.
think someone's like cool, if they do buy something, then yeah, I do want to buy that 'cause I think.
Well, that's
oh,
the whole
that
thing of
must be a
influencers,
cool
right? That you do that knowing you're an
item.
influencer, but being a friend.
But yeah,
no,
I
but
guess,
even when he's younger, like you know, it's like your friend gets that and it's like super cool. And you think, oh, I really
Yeah,
want
that's
it.
one thing. It wouldn't be
Yeah.
like everything in the way they do.
no,
like, the
obviously
hair.
this is like to the extreme. It is kind of an awkward thing, but then I think if it's going to ruin your friendship, you're better off just saying something because if it ruins, if it
How
saying
awkward is
something
that?
ruins the
You
friend.
copy, and then the problem with these things is you always end up looking petty,
Mm.
but it's so annoying because you're not being petty.
Yeah.
But it's almost like,
I
you've got the same
I
jacket.
did
I
hairstyle,
take
have
it
mate.
it.
compliment if someone copies me.
Yeah, it's up to a certain point, then it
actually-
becomes.
No,
Then it
there is
becomes
one
annoying.
point where, and I get what
Yeah.
you're saying about, like, because even saying it, I think now that I've grown up, like, it felt a bit petty, but somebody copied me in a stage of life. But the thing I found it really hard is because I didn't have very much money. So the things that I did then start buying, it meant a lot. And this person did have lots of money. So they were then buying it and it then felt like it was taken away, like what I'd worked really hard for to then be
It's heartbreaking.
dismissive of everyone else. But it was only
I
short.
just figured out who you're speaking about as well. Yeah, anyway.
and short-lived. But yeah.
It was me. I was buying everything the same as that. No, yeah, I think it's hard. I think these ones are always
even how I
hard.
started my bedroom as well. Okay,
Yeah,
that
it's
is a bit
crazy.
extreme.
I think you might not only do you need to address it, you need a restraining order. Like I think this is getting pretty weird. But yeah, I think just say so. I think or just start making light of it every time she does
Yeah, I was
it.
gonna say make a joke out of it.
Oh, I thought he was looking in the
Yeah,
mirror.
rather than buy it, you should have just
Oh.
asked. You could have borrowed my whole outfit.
Oh, hello, mini me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There
I
you
would
go.
say make jokes of it, and then like she might.
And it
get to hear.
light
discourages
of
the
it.
behaviour without it being. And then Lily's going over like,
But does
we get
yeah,
one from Lily being like, my best friend is just constantly mocking me.
Yeah.
But does this girl like? Does she not have any shame? Like when she's literally
No, some people don't know.
posting her. She posts an outfit. She's posting the same outfit the next day. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
do
perhaps
you
some
not?
people don't.
Do you not feel awkward? I don't know.
All right, so we're going to play a game where we have to guess our top 5 Google searches for our names. So
if you get confused
if-
like we did,
yeah, we got confused at the beginning. So if you searched on Google Joel Conda, and then what are the first 5 things that might come up, and we all have to guess our own one. Okay.
okay.
So I've never done this before. I don't know. Or I can't imagine anyone's really Googling anything about me. Like,
But Google specific, like TikTok's more like.
no, this is Google
Yeah, I know.
specific. Yeah. I can't imagine anyone's really Googling that much about me. So I'm going to go
No,
with,
no, I don't know why I was going to answer your one. I don't know. Carry
I
on.
was just going to go with the obvious, which is net worth, because that's everyone's. It's always the first one is like net worth, maybe address for those creepy ones. Net worth, address. Is he bald because he always wears a hat? Something like that, probably. I'm not. I just love hats. Is probably something to do with like, is he actually the dad of these kids? Oh, age. Sorry, I'm going to move age up to 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, that's it.
No, we've one more.
No, that's 5.
That's 5.
Yeah.
Oh,
2.
Oh, I was going to say about
No, that's 4.
is his name
Daniel.
Daniel?
Oh, Joel's real name, yeah. Thanks
I
for
would
helping.
say the Daniel would go before net worth. I think people are so intrigued because people.
Okay, let's go Daniel. Something about Daniel net worth. There we go. Cool.
What are you getting rid of?
No, there's 5 now.
No, that's
1,
6.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh my god, I can't do this. Okay, let's get rid of the.
Is he bald? No one
Yeah.
Is
thinks
he
you're
bald?
bald. Come on now.
I was just joking.
Yeah,
I'm locking
locked
it
in.
in.
So it's net worth. Then
Why is Joel
Daniel.
called Daniel? Right, so wait, if you're listening along. Okay, so right, here we go. First is net worth. Second is why is Joel called Daniel? Third is where's Joel from? Then when was Joel Conda born? Weird way just to say how old is Joel Conda. When did Joel Corey become famous? Why is that searched under my name?
Wait, is that under Joel Conda?
Yeah, that's mad.
You got that quite accurate though.
Considering
Net
I
worth,
didn't even know
Daniel.
what I was going to say when I opened my mouth.
Address, which is where's Joel from,
Oh,
and age.
Oh wait, so how well did I do?
1, 2,
No.
3.
You
You
got
got
some of them mixed up.
You got
though.
three.
Made
right.
me put network. Yeah,
You
okay.
did say net
Go on then,
worth.
Sarah.
Oh, I don't know. Why would people want to search?
Oh,
Um,
is Sarah and Casey sisters?
no.
No one thinks that.
Or I don't know. Would they search?
Everyone's going to be net worth. I'll just help.
I was going to say like, are they going to say net worth because that's net worth? Something to do with mum of DVG. I get that a lot about being the mum. So it must. I don't know.
What's the question?
I don't know.
Is she the mum?
Like, how is she such a brilliant mum? I don't know. Like,
How does she do it?
yeah.
Sarah Conda. How does she do it?
Yeah. I don't know what the question is, but I think there'll be something about being a mum there.
Boob job.
No.
No.
Oh, God, help me out. I don't know. What do you
Feet
think?
pics.
No.
OF account.
Age.
Yeah, age.
Okay, just
Maybe something about. Yeah, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I can't even think.
maybe
Am I bald?
Maybe like how old you were when you had a kid. I don't know. Would people say that?
just put that on there. You can't answer all of them.
Yeah.
Right, let's see what Sarah's were.
I
I'm
honestly
so
have no
intrigued
idea.
now.
Oh,
my god.
How old
Guys,
was
I'm
Sarah when she had
No,
Kaci?
net worth wasn't even up there, Joel. How old was Sarah when she had Casey? Is Sarah DVG pregnant? Absolutely not. Sarah Conda Instagram, Sarah Conda age, Sarah Conda maiden name. Oh, you try out there being spies.
Bloody hell.
Wow, girl.
Okay.
Casey?
Okay, I think mine will be net worth.
£1.
Then, come on now.
£1 fish.
1 million. Jokes. Age. I think probably boyfriend.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Pregnant after our podcast a few times.
I don't even know if you'd be... I feel like those are common search terms.
Would people think that I've had like work done? I'm trying to think.
Oh, that's a good one.
I feel like the 1, 2, 3, 4, one more.
You and Ava not friends because Ava didn't come on the Solskin trip and everyone's like, where's Ava?
Yeah, but I was trying to think, is that more like TikTok searches
Yeah.
rather than Google? Right, one more. Maybe
I'll just do them.
maybe just like Instagram or something. Like Casey's Instagram, the same way that you had yours.
All right, let's have a look. So we've got age, we've got net worth, we've
I
got
should have
who
known
is Casey
height.
J's dad? That is the real question
Irrelevant.
here. Who?
I should have done height because a lot of people ask how tall I am because they can't tell if I'm really short or tall.
Wait, and then Casey J boyfriend, and then height. That's so random. People will know your
It's so
height.
random.
So I
Never been like, oh,
theme on each one for then Grace to be like, oh, they're going to say this,
and
this,
you
and
would
this.
get
They're
a
all
boyfriend
different.
one.
Right, Grace, what do you reckon?
I'm just going to say net worth because everyone's said that. Probably age as well because of famous birthdays and stuff.
Put that one in there. Salt flex.
Obviously,
I feel like you'll have like boyfriend or
Boyfriend.
something like that.
I was going to say, are you and Lily girlfriends? Because I feel like that's come up so many
again,
times.
Well, then
that's
put
TikTok, I
Lily.
think.
Something to do with Lily.
No, I don't think that would be on Google. I think Casey was right in saying, I think it'd be boyfriend.
Well, my TikTok ones are really out there.
I think boyfriend's a safe bet.
Boyfriend. But lesbian.
Maybe yours would be height. I don't know. Do people
No.
ask you regular questions on TikTok?
Pouting.
Oh, yeah. God.
Or maybe about like college.
No one really asks.
Did she get good grades?
That's 5 though, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
All right, let's go. All right, what is your age?
Oh.
What is your TikTok? Just search it on TikTok. guys.
Oh,
Oh, your prom dress.
Oh, I've got loads of hate
Wow.
on my prom dress.
Hate? Oh,
Yeah,
I
no
thought-
one liked my prom
But
dress.
then they wouldn't be searching it on Google trying to find it. If
and then
people
Grace
must have
Conda
loved it.
piercing.
I've just got this one, my
And then your
sexy
net worth.
best.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
wow.
like piercing. That was a good one. All right, cool. Good game.
Well, thanks, guys, for coming on.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. If you're listening to this, please rate us 5 stars. It massively helps. And if you're watching on YouTube, leave us a comment below and subscribe. And we'll see you next Tuesday.
See you guys. Bye.
Bye.